Another VFL year is underway, 2013, and the first match between Werribee and Port Melbourne. David Rees-Jones, two of the powerhouse teams of the competition, two of the successful teams from last year. And Werribee showed us they might be in for a very good 2013 because they were simply brilliant.
Yeah, right from the first bounce, they just took it upon themselves to take it up to Port Melbourne, who have been the powerhouse team over the last few years. And just with their run and skill level, they were terrific. And led by Ben Warren down on that forward line, who finished with a bag full. So it was just a real good, but look, lack of pressure. You just see it there. Lack of pressure applied by Port, which is not the Port Melbourne style. And especially in that first half, they didn't come to play. They really were shell-shocked.
And that was the thing. You can have days where the opposition is a bit better than you, but if you're putting in 100% effort, well, there's not much more you can do about that. But it didn't appear that way from Port Melbourne. Scott Clouston there kicking a goal from the boundary line. From the very word go, they were getting way too many easy possessions, the Tigers.
Yeah, they were. But the skill level, I think, you've really got to give them credit because they were hitting their targets, whether it be by hand or by foot, every time. And the amount of run they created, the amount of players who were just getting across to assist and help each other time after time just laid a foundation for a very good win. That
goal we just saw from Scott Sherlock was after 36 seconds of the second quarter after they led by 25. At least Port was able to manage a couple of goals through Mewling and Skipper, but again it was 6 goals to 2. I reckon Gary Ayres would have given him a fair old touch-up at half-time, rightly so, and at least Port Melbourne came out and showed a bit more endeavour in the third quarter.
Yeah, they did. They were led by their skipper, John Baird, who hadn't contributed much in the first bit. But we see another goal there to Warren. He had a day out with 11, but just terrific work. But you just watch their foot skills there, just hitting targets time and time again as you're coming into the forward line. Players running past. This was a story of the day. And terrific work.
They've picked up some really good players. Adam Marrick kicked a couple of very good goals. Jared Moore from Sydney, Brett Meredith from Sydney. They've recruited really well in the off-season, and it looks as though they are right up there with the teams to beat. Obviously, we haven't seen Geelong and Williamstown at this stage, but if you were framing a premiership market, you've got to have these blokes right up near the top.
Oh, you'd have them right on top, the way they played today, and as long as they can keep this team together, which is always hard in alignment, but the majority of these players will be there for most of the year, and they're going to be a very hard team to beat.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for Gary Ayres to get his men to bounce back, but we know one thing, that they are a very proud football club, so you wouldn't expect to see an effort like this in coming weeks.
No, and look, I mean, it was supposed to be a home game for Port Melbourne, unfortunately, due to works at the ground, and they're always very hard to beat at home. But you've got to give credit where credit's due, and it's due to Werribee. I mean, they were just the dominant team from the first quarter right through to the end of the game.
And that was Ben Warren's 10th goal. He kicked another one 2 minutes after that, finished up with 11. They had a lot more of the football. They certainly handballed to advantage right throughout the game. And the big number at the end was the fact that they came up with 25 goals. It was 25-9, 159 to 12-15, 87. The final margin, 72 points. Werribee off to a flyer in VFL season 2013.